Often seen, often maligned, the red-bellied black snake has a largely undeserved reputation.
We removed this little red belly this morning from a lady's house. It's only a fairly young one, probably 1 or 2 years old, because red bellies grow quite quickly. Now, in the early days of me snake catching, the numbers of red bellies were extremely low, and that would be because of the fact they are predominantly a frog eater. Now, what happened is the cane toad moved into the Gold Coast and actually wreaked havoc on the population of all frog-eating animals. A lot of them were either totally eliminated or knocked right down. Now, these cheeky fellows, what happens is that parents, when they give birth, they'll have up to 90 live young. And let's just say hypothetically that this is one of 90 brothers and sisters, and it has a preference for mice rather than eating frogs. That way it learns to leave the cane toad alone. And they actually grow quite healthy and quite big. So these days, as a snake catcher, instead of catching 1 or 2 a year, I now, at least 5 or 6 a week, especially on days that are overcast like now. Because being a black snake, they actually absorb the heat very quickly and overheat very quickly, which causes a little bit of a drama.
Red bellies have a very placid temperament and will only strike when cornered in an area with no escape or provoked in the extreme.
Now, red belly blacks are normally a very, very placid snake, but this guy has a fair bit of attitude, and you can see it flattening its neck out. What it's doing there, it's saying to me, Tony, I'm too big to eat, don't bother. Now, I don't know what has happened to it before the people called me. They might have stirred it up, might have had a go at them themselves. Now, if it were to bite me, the venom is quite a cytotoxic, myotoxic, which causes muscle destruction, causes the blood to clot as well, so it's a very painful bite. Not very many people have actually died from a red belly black. I mean, usually the people that do suffer from the red belly black bite are people that have got a weak heart or kidney problems or issues with their health already. Now, usually a red belly black will never ever have a go at you. They're fairly good to have in your backyard. If by chance you've got a red belly black snake in your backyard, being a very cannibalistic snake, there's every chance in the world you don't have any other snakes around, like eastern browns and stuff like that, which can potentially be dangerous. Now, this guy's looking at my fingers there, he was thinking about it. If he were to bite me, I would have to administer first aid and head off to hospital. Now, with most breeds of snakes, I mentioned how they all vary incredibly in colour. The one that probably varies the least would be the red belly black. On the contrary, what you've got to remember is if you look closely at this little guy's head, if we can get him to stay still for more than 2 seconds, his entire head is jet black, his whole body is jet black, and the red under his belly is quite beautiful and quite blood red. It can be orange, it can be yellow. Now, when these guys are about to shed, they actually look grey. So rather than be jet black, they can have this gunmetal grey look. Their belly will then also look quite white, and red belly blacks can sometimes come with quite a brown nose, or from their eyes forward be quite brown. I've had people call me and say, look, I've got this funny looking black snake in my backyard and it's got this really funny coloured brown head, and what it was just a blob of mud on top of the snake's head. So you've got to keep in mind that all sorts of different scenarios happen. Now, see this red belly black? He's smelling the leather of my shoes there, and he's actually taking venting his angry day that he's had, his bad morning that he's had on my boot, because what happens is this boot is made out of animal skin. Therefore, he smelt the boot and he thought, well, this is the bugger that's causing me all this grief at the moment. And he's just trying to bite me to make me let him go, because he feels that I'm a predator hanging on to him and I'm about to kill him.
The red belly black rates highly in the top 10 most venomous snakes in the world and can be found in numbers right down the eastern seaboard of Australia. Red belly black snakes reach anywhere between 1.5 and 2.5 metres in length. A bite from a red belly is not generally fatal, but it should be treated immediately with a compression bandage and professional medical attention sought as a matter of urgency.